Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Sasivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye Yasyat Viradavatra Parishadhya Parasatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishvaksenam Tamasraye Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheswaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum. With Bhagavan's grace, we came up to Slokam 6 yesterday in Karma Yoga 3.6. Now, a couple of thoughts that occurred to me to share with you. Karma Yoga is really nothing difficult about it, and it's actually very facile, very easy to do, and something that as recently as probably 40 years ago, it was a natural given thing in most of our households. That's the way, whether it was my grandfather or my uncle or the way we were all brought up, and that's the way we were all doing our things, basically in the way Swami is prescribing in Bhagavad Gita. And Karma Yoga also means embracing, we all, when we talk about embracing, we embrace so many things in life, embrace our worries or embrace our spouse or children, and so many other things, right? Or embrace the power or position or whatever we get. So many things are there. Now, can we embrace the Lord who is seated in our heart? Embracing the indweller through action is Karma Yoga. And also embracing the work itself as Bhagavan, as the Lord, that is also Karma Yoga. So that to be able to do that embracing, what is the practice, what is the attitude required, and what is the focus, the desire, the commitment, what is it? What are those things that are required in that process, right? That's what Bhagavan is talking about here, and it is not really very difficult. One puts one's faith in the Lord and takes every single word Bhagavan utters as Amritam itself. That itself will open the way. So now, very briefly summarizing for, I think 1 or 2 people have joined today, newly I believe. So just summarizing for them, the first 6 slokams, what Bhagavan is teaching is, first he answers the question, is knowledge, or you can embrace the Lord indweller in infinite ways, as we saw in early on. And embracing simply means turning our mind to the Lord who is seated within. And to turn that mind towards Bhagavan, there are infinite pathways. One of them is Jnana Yoga or Karma Yoga, whatever name we give it, that is really irrelevant. The question that Arjuna asks is, you told me about Sthita Prajna and about the Buddhi Yoga and the knowledge. Why do you then ask me to do this terrible action of engaging in battle? And so Bhagavan says, that is a very good question, but I created 2 different pathways for those people who are interested in seeking knowledge. There is the knowledge path. For those who are impelled to do action, there is the action path. And most of us, are compelled and impelled to do action. So we can take the action itself, which is a gift from Bhagavan to us, as a tool to start practicing what Bhagavan teaches. And in that process, he says, you have work, and just because you say that I'm not going to do the work, that does not mean you're going to get free from it. And also, by not doing work, you're not going to get any fulfillment. You know why? Because even for a moment, you cannot remain inactive. The natural impulses, the nature has endowed us, has gifted us with three impulses. These impulses will pull and push and compel us to do action regardless we being aware of it or not. We will do the action, period. We are not free. And then Bhagavan says, okay, I'm not going to do action and I will just refrain from doing action. If you start thinking like that, what happens to your mind? Even though you may have pulled back your karmendriyas, the senses of action, from doing their job, whether you say, I'm going to keep silent, I will not speak, or whatever it is you decide, right? What happens to the mind? But the mind still thinks about the object that attracts those senses. And a person who withdraws his senses of action, but still his mind is thinking about the objects to which those senses are attracted to, even though the senses are not engaging in that action, that person is called a hypocrite, a mithyacharaha, sa uchyate. That's how far we came. That is up to Slokam 6. Now Slokam 7, the overall meaning is, but Arjuna, he who controls his senses with his mind focused on divinity and uses his senses of action to begin doing action dispassionately, that person is really an exalted person. That's the meaning of 7. Yastu indriyani manasa niyamya arabhate Arjuna karmendriyahi karmayogam asaktaha sa visishyate. Yastu indriyani manasa niyamya arabhate Arjuna karmendriyahi karmayogam asaktaha sa visishyate. The words padangal are yaha tu indriyani manasa niyamya arabhate Arjuna karma indriyaihi karma yogam asaktaha sa visishyate. Arjuna, tu, but yaha who indriyani, the 5 indriyas that we have, manasa, with the mind, very important. The indriyas can be controlled and pulled back only by the mind. Manasa, through the mind, with the mind, niyamya, controlled, okay, very important. So having controlled the senses with the mind, then what does he do? Asaktaha, without really, Tamil, as we say, pattum padadadam, it's a very important phrase to remember. I hope all of you understand Tamil. If not, please ask me. And it's a beautiful phrase. Pattum padadadam, like this is a classic example is, lotus flower and all that. But practically speaking, pattum padadadam. That means without really being too involved in it, through the mind, asaktaha, dispassionately, one who controls the indriyas, the senses of action, and then dispassionately, karmendriyaihi, through the senses of action, karma yogam, when you are beginning, the question is, Swami, you tell me to follow karma yoga. Okay, I will do it, Swami. How should I do it? The very first thing is, with the mind, I am going to control the senses. Now you say, I am going to do all the actions I do through all the 5 senses of perception and the 5 senses of action. Through all the 10 senses that you have given me, I am going to start doing karma yoga, arabhate. I am going to begin that. One who begins his activity, not even complete, not even is successful yet, but just begins his activity with sincere desire, sa visishyate, sa, that person, visishyate, is an exalted person. Yastindriyani manasa niyamyarabhate Arjuna karmendriyai karma yogam asaktas visishyate. Slokam number 8. Now, the overall meaning of Slokam 8. you must carry out the actions that have been given to you, allotted to you. Being active is better than being inactive, is it not? Don't you agree? He's asking. Inaction makes it difficult for the body to carry out even its basic functions. If you are inactive, it is very difficult even for the body to carry out its basic functions. So it's a common truth that we all know. Niyatam kuru karma tvam karma jyayo hyakarmanaha sarira yatrapi cha te na prasiddhyet akarmanaha. Niyatam kuru karma tvam karma jyayo hyakarmanaha sarira yatrapi cha te na prasiddhyet akarmanaha. The words, padangal are niyatam kuru karma tvam karma jyayaha hi akarmanaha sarira yatra api cha te na prasiddhyet akarmanaha. Tvam, you, niyatam, the allotted, prescribed work, right? There are infinite, if you really look, trillions and trillions and trillions, incalculable amount of action and activities taking place on the earth. And then if you look at the universe, it's mind-boggling. Out of all those incalculably large amount of work and activities going on, you and I are given a certain allotment of work. We don't get every work, right? We get only certain work to do in our life. Whatever action I get, you may not get. That activity, you can take it as the truth. Whatever action and activity comes your way, that is Bhagavan's gift to you. If it is Bhagavan's gift to you, that is your niyatam karma. It's a work allotted to you. It is much more than doing puja in the puja room or going and working for a paycheck. It is all the actions that you get, right? That whatever you get is the thing that is niyatam for you, allotted to you. Tvam, niyatam, the allotted, karma, the activities, kuru, do it. Akarmanaha, if you don't do the activity, the akarmanaha, the inaction. Akarmanaha is inactivity or inaction. Inaction, the akarmanaha, better than, because to put it in English, I'm changing the verbs a little bit. Akarmanaha, better than inaction. Karma, the doing activity. Jayaha, he. The he, as we discussed earlier, is exclamation mark, a certainty, a kind of an ascertaining through a question, right? In Sanskrit. So, akarmanaha karma jayaha hi. That means the inaction, doing inaction or being inactive, better than being inactive, doing action is better, isn't it? That's what he's asking. Okay. Akarmanaha, when you don't do action, on the next line, when you don't do action, being inactive, te, for you, sarira yatra pi, even to move about with your body. Yatra means, we know travel is one way we understand it, but all the activities we do, the upkeep, the maintenance of the body, the health of the body, everything comes under that. Sarira yatra pi, even taking care of the body, right? Na prasiddhyete. Siddhyete, you know what it means. Prasiddhyete, you know what it means. Na prasiddhyete is not attainable. Okay? Niyatam kuru karma tvam karma jyayo hya karmanaha sarira yatra pichate na prasiddhyete akarmanaha. Number 9. The overall meaning is, look, Arjuna, in this world, actions that are done without giving up the desire for results bind one to further actions. Why? Just think about it. When you desire a result and the result doesn't come, automatically you have to continue till the desire gets fulfilled, either in this birth or next birth, or you don't know when. The desire gets fulfilled, then greed comes in. You want more of it, right? So that is the basic underlying truth. That's why Bhagavan says, actions that are done without giving up the desire for results bind one to further actions. Therefore, Kaunteya, be unconcerned with the result. Don't be concerned. It is going to happen by itself. Don't worry about it. Do your allotted work very well. Do your allotted action very well. That's what Bhagavan says. The next teaching. Everything is continuum. Yajñātārtha karmana anyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadhartam karma kaunteya mukta sangaha samachara. That yajñātārtha karmanonyantra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadhartam karma kaunteya mukta sangaha samachara. Yajñātārtha, very important. Yajña arthat. Okay, the words and padangal are yajña arthat karmana anyatra lokaha ayam karma bandhanaha tat artham karma kaunteya mukta sangaha samachara. Yajñārtāt, yajña artāt. Yajña means, very important, we immediately think yajña means it's not yagam that we perform. Okay? It is the meaning behind the yagam we perform. Yajña simply means, the word that describes it in English is sacrifice. To give up. Give up. And very important. The yajñārtāt, that means dedicated to the Lord, to put it in a simple way. That is the only objective. In this case, artham means the objective, the result that you desire, the attitude with which you do it. Yajñārtāt, the attitude with which things are dedicated to Bhagavan, to sacrifice, to give up to the Lord, karmanaha, those kind of actions. Okay, the yajñātāt karmanaha, the activities that are done in a sacrificial attitude and manner dedicated to the Lord, giving up the results, as is understood here. The anyatra, removed from. Anyatra means away from. So, in other words, the actions that are not done with yajñātāt, that's the meaning of it in English. When you do like that, I am this lokaha, this world, karma bandhanaha. It is bonded in continuous action. In this world, actions that are done without the attitude of sacrifice and giving up the result of the action, they bind you to further work. That's the meaning of it. Second line, Kaunteya, tadartham, tad artham. That means that yajna. He is talking about that yajna. Therefore, Arjuna, the tadartham, focused on that sacrifice to achieve that sacrificial attitude and practice, mukta sangaha, in a dispassionate manner. Sangha means junction, sangha means attachment. Mukta sangaha means without giving up that attachment. Attachment to what? In this case, he is talking about attachment to desire for the result of the action you do. So give up that desire dispassionately. Karma samachara. Samachara, karma, your activity. Samachara, do it very well. Okay? Yajñārtāt karmanon yatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sanka samachara. Now, next slokam, number 10, is a mind-boggling teaching from Bhagavan. It's very important teaching from the Lord, and this captures the essence of all the teachings of the Vedas and the Upanishads in one very simple statement. Fundamentally, Bhagavan tells us what is work, right? What is creation? Why I have created you? Why is this creation, all this taking place? That's what he's talking about. And he's going to teach us through the next few slokams as Brahma is talking, not Krishna is talking here. It's beautifully done. Okay, the slokam number 10. In the beginning, the Creator created man and the spirit of sacrifice together, okay, as one. Very important to understand this, please. The Creator created man and the spirit of sacrifice together, inseparable from each other. He then blessed the man, saying, "May you establish yourself in this spirit of sacrifice always. Your spirit of sacrifice will grant you all your wishes." Okay, this is a statement. We talk of Kamadhenu, Kalpaka Vriksham and all that. They are all not some entity like a cow that gives us all the desires or a tree that gives us. It is this attitude of sacrifice. That is Kamadhenu and Kalpaka Vriksham, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So let us look at the sloka. Sagayajnaha prajaha srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam yesha vostu ishthakamadhuk. Sagayajnaha prajaha srishtva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam yesha vostu ishthakamadhuk. The words padangal are Saha Yajnaha Prajaha Srishtva Pura Uvacha Prajapatihi Anena Prasavishyadvam Yesha Vaha Astu Ishta Kamadhuk. Okay? The very first word, Saha, is the most important word. Saha means together, inseparable from. There is a Vedic chanting, Sahana Vavatu, that you may have heard of. That Saha is the most important teaching that we get from the Vedas. That means we should be all together, togetherness. Okay, that's what it means. Not separated, together, always, as one. Yajnaha, Saha, together, Yajnaha, with sacrifice, Prajaha Srishtva, beings work after creating the being. Srishtva means to create. Pura, in the beginning, early on, okay? Prajapatihi, the creator, Uvacha, he said. The creator, early on, in the beginning, after creating the beings, together with a spirit of sacrifice, he said. What did he say? Anena, in this. Anena means in this. In what? In the spirit of sacrifice. Prasavishyadvam. Grow. Grow diligently. Grow well. Grow healthily. Establish yourself in that. Okay? That's the advice he has given us when he created each one of us. Okay? Before we came out of our mother's womb, that's the instruction we got. Okay? Anena prasavishyadvam. So develop, mature and nurture yourself in the spirit of sacrifice. Yesha, this sacrifice, vaha, for you. Vaha is a plural address of you. Okay, when there is more than one person involved in the you, we say vaha, like you all. You all, we say like that. Yesha, with this attitude of sacrifice, vaha, to you all, ishta kama dhukha. Ishta, whatever we desire, kama, the desire that we desire, kama dhukha, fulfillment. All the desires that we desire, whatever we desire, this spirit of sacrifice, vaha astu, okay, that will be fulfilled. That is the meaning of that. Now, here, I want to tell you a couple of more things, so that some of you who may not be aware, I think need to be aware of this. First of all, a diligent student, when you come across this teaching, will wonder, how can, we all have desires, right? And the desires seem to be never ending. Keep on going and going and going. We want something and more things come. So what does he mean? Sarva kama dukkha. So yalla vidamana ishta kama dukkha. Whatever you desire, all the desires will be fulfilled. Now, how is it possible? You have to think. A diligent, inquisitive a curious student necessarily will have to sincerely ask that question. What is the end point when all desires are fulfilled? All desires, as we saw earlier in Sankhya Yoga, Bhagavan taught us, all the desires flow to him just as the rivers flow to the ocean, right? What is his point here? It is to the indweller. In other words, as the rivers go and merge one with the ocean, all the desires flow into the desireless state. There is no desire. When there is no desire, all the desires have been fulfilled. Ishta Kama Duk. And that can happen only with the spirit of sacrifice. That's what he's talking about. Yajna. Okay? This is something, whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, whether you and I want it or not, this is something we are doing every second, every breathing moment. We are always sacrificing. Okay? Just think, right, starting from the breath that we take. If I don't exhale the breath, if I don't give it up, which is called prana, then I cannot survive, right? I have to exhale in order to inhale breath. We think we are inhaling breath in order to live. That is wrong. If you look at the mothers present here in this conference call, when you gave delivery to your babies, the nurse would have told you exhale, exhale, exhale. She didn't say inhale, right? Because when you exhale, automatically you will inhale, right? So the giving up starts right from the breath. Even right now, as I am talking and you're listening, we have given up doing something else in order to be here. Whatever you do, you take your children to the school, you give up something in order to take them to the school. So there is always giving up involved, right? Understand that. Now, to direct the sacrifice, the mental attitude behind the sacrifice that we all make. Okay, making sacrifice is something that we are not free from. We are automatically doing it because it was created along with us. That is what the Creator has made. Saha yajnaha prajaha srishtva, right? Now, but we have to understand and align our mind with that creation. That mental attitude is what Bhagavan is talking about. Turning the mind to the Lord is what he is talking about. Okay, that yajna, there are 5 prescribed yajnas by the elders. One of them is the Deva yajna, then Pitru yajna, then Rishi yajna, then Manushya yajna, and Bhuta yajna. Okay, see that 9:15. So let me take a minute or two and conclude this. So the Deva yajna is when we do worship. We do our puja and worship all the various devas, and I'll continue on this tomorrow. Rishi Yajna is when we give our debt to them by reciting Vedas and whatever scriptures that we have learned, Ramayana, Mahabharata, whatever it is, doesn't matter. We do that with love and affection and gratitude. Pitru Yajna, when we do our Tarpanam and think of our ancestors and give our gratitude to them. Manushya Yajna, when we serve people in need, whether it is physical need or mental need, whatever it is, when we serve them. Bhuta yajna is very important, even when you go and feed a bird outside, for example, right? So, very, very quickly, these yajnas are very important. And tomorrow I will also briefly mention about what happened in Tirupati, in Tirumalai Venkatajalapati Swami Kshetram. And this is a very important lesson of what this yajna is. So, we need to understand yajna is something that in Purushakuttam they call this yajna as Sarvahot, right? That's the name the rishis have given. The yajna is something we are all the time we are doing. Every second, waking and sleeping moment we are doing it. We need to get our mind to be in alignment with that and understand. The moment you start understanding it, automatically you will start thinking about to whom are we sacrificing this? The Yajna Purusha. That is the main idea of karma, of doing activity. That is what Bhagavan is talking about. So, Saha Yajnaha Praja Srishtva Purovacha Prajapatihi Anena Prasavishyadbham Yeshavostu Ishtakamadhuk. With that, with Bhagavan's grace, we will conclude today. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastalokaha Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.